the venue, the setting, everything, but how has this week been for you?
Initially Sutton United and that away game, and then after that obviously focus switches and, as you say, a little bit different. I think we're trying to embrace that, but at the same time know that it's still his job and we'd want to go to Brighton and give a good account of himself again.
There's been a lot of focus on the town, the club over the last couple of days. Has it been difficult keeping the lads' minds focused on the game itself?
We've had a couple of days off, to be honest, to try and rest and recover because of the schedule and the travelling, and getting back late. I think I got in the house at 3 o'clock after Sutton, so some of the lads had another probably hour and a half on top of that before they were getting in the bed. So important they got some rest. In terms of focus, I think yes, anyone that you bump into, I think they'd forgot we'd got a few games prior to this one. But now it's here, like I said, it's nice that we can enjoy the moment.
It's been so much for the town, for the people. Have you felt that this week?
Yes, I think felt it since we found out as opponents, to be honest, because as I've just sort of alluded to, a lot of people even turning up at Blundell Park for a couple of games, it was nothing to do with the game that we were there for. It was all about the Brighton game and the FA Cup. So I think for those people that's been at the forefront of their minds, and we're almost there now, but for staff and players a little bit boring, but ultimately we've had league games to take care of in between, and that's where our focus has had to be.
It's been an incredible journey so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit unbelievable, to be honest, with the teams that we've beaten, and I just said there, some of the people that are here today I wasn't expecting to see again. But it's nice that you're here. It means that we're still in the cup and got another game.
Was that, I asked you after the game, but have you had time to reflect on that Southampton game and really, think about what it meant to you, what it meant to the team?
Probably not properly. We enjoyed a couple of drinks that night, and sort of the following day I got back and I managed to just quickly go through a couple of the sort of key moments with the TV footage and listen to the punditry, but again very quickly we were onto that next game, so not enough probably. I think it'll be at the end of the season when we look back and reflect and enjoy that, but it's this and the game coming up and looking at the other games, there's not many, is there? 4 games, and that seems a bit surreal, as you said, that Grimsby Town are involved in one of those.
You've had a good couple of wins last 2 games, but this is going to be an altogether different proposition, isn't it, on Sunday, against a Brighton team who not only are doing well in the Premier League, but they play some of the best football in the Premier League as well. Yeah,
and I think that's, from our point of view, a little bit almost frightening in truth, having watched them, a lot of work on them, and you start to wonder how we can really set up against them. We've got an idea, but the reality is, I'm sure lots of Premiership teams have, and they've been second best to them on most occasions. I think only this week was it that came out about Guardiola and what he's been saying about the manager and the style of football. They might not have got kind of, I guess, the name worldwide of a Man City, Man United, Liverpool, but watching them, they're unbelievable. And it's been a real interesting watch. Like I said, just maybe a bit scary that we're having to try and go up against that.
So how do you beat Brighton?
I used the word miracle in the last game, and I think we're praying for another one. But we've just got to go and try and do his best. That's all we can do. The reality is we've got nothing to lose. Brighton have got everything to lose in the game. But we want to, again, as I said in the previous round, give a good account of ourselves, and I guess try and stay in the game as much as possible. But this is, respectfully to Southampton, we're now moving on to an whole different level again, and they have been incredible. And like I said, just watching them in this last sort of 4 or 5 days it's been eye-opening, to say the least.
And how important are those 4,600 fans going to be on Sunday, as they were at Southampton?
Yeah, I think we want them to enjoy the day no matter what's going on. I said that last time, and I'm sure they will. But at the same time, when we know we're going to have some tough moments, we're going to spend a lot of the time without the ball. I think they do that in most of the Premiership games. So they have to be patient, but just keep cheering the lads on to dig in, find that extra yard every now and again that's going to be required. And it'll be great seeing them again, because that's something that certainly stuck in my head from the Southampton game, is just seeing those fans and the inflatables and celebrating with them at the end. Was, you know, they're the moments that you really take from the game, as much as you should take more probably from setting the team up and things like that, but it's the end of it when you've actually achieved something that sticks with you. Thanks very much.
Probably just to go over a couple of other similar sort of points as well, but just go back, I mean, how have the last couple of weeks been for you and the team?
Honestly, for me, not just trying to focus people's minds, I suppose, because as you said, the Brighton game's been on everyone's minds, I think, away from the football club or the playing side, and a lot of preparation has had to go into it, you know, for the press guys, for the football club as a whole. But for us, we have generally had the games to concentrate on, and we've done pretty well in those, thankfully. You know, that was a bit of a concern when, you know, especially Tuesday night, in all honesty, because that's what I was really impressed with from the players. It's everyone else is telling me that the players will have focus on Brighton, and I am a human, I get it, but at the same time it's my job to try and keep people's feet on the ground and their minds on the job in hand, and they've done that. So it's not been easy, but as I said, we've got to that point now where we can focus on it and try and enjoy it as much as possible.
You ask any football fan, any Grimsby Town fan at the moment, they will probably tell you about how they've just stood and daydreamed and thought, Grimsby Town are an FA Cup quarter-finalist. Have you done that?
I think I've referenced the sentence, and it's a bit strange and a bit surreal, but at the same time I don't think it has sort of sunk in a way. I think it will only be the end of the season, or, you know, in another 10 years when you look back and you look at other quarter-finals perhaps in the competition in years to come and think, we were there at that point. And I'll be surprised. It's not impossible, we've proven that. But it probably would be a surprise if we're talking about another League Two club in that situation in the certainly foreseeable future. So everyone should be extremely proud, look forward to the occasion. But like I said, for me at this moment in time, it's still not quite sunk in properly, I don't think.
It was at a couple of schools this morning and there was a real buzz about them. Do you get a feel for the buzz around North East Lincolnshire at the moment as well?
Yeah, we have at times. Like I say, obviously we've been on the road quite a bit, or, you know, almost days off to recover with the schedule. But at the same time, you do sense it. You can tell people are excited. You can see almost in their eyes, and they burst into talk about it before they've even said a word. You know what's sort of coming out of people's mouths. But it's nice, you know. You want people to be, you know, full of energy and optimistic, and I think everyone in life has a lot of sort of tough times, so it's nice to enjoy something that's pleasant. And, you know, we appreciate what the football club means to a lot of people in the area, and to be, yeah, I guess, the promotion last season and now this FA Cup run. Thankfully we've all been able to enjoy some good times.
Two of the kids at Healing Academy this morning said you're inspiring kids to go on and to do great things. I mean, that must mean a lot to you and to the club. I
think we fully recognise that. With the position that you're in, you put on a platform. In our local area at least, it's a big platform. Obviously nationally, not quite as big, albeit at this sort of time we're getting a bit more press on that side. But we have to use that, and I think we try to. I know it's extremely important to you know, the owners. We understand how much it means, the club, to the area and the people, and kids in particular are often, you know, ones that we look to inspire and target and hope that they want to be part of this journey and, you know, come to Blundell Park and enjoy occasions. So, you know, that's fantastic to hear.
And just looking at Brighton, lots of Grimsby Town fans making a whole weekend of it as well. You know, the meeting at Brighton here, I think, tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
Just sum up this occasion for them and also for you. How are you approaching this game?
A lot like any other game, because I think you know, you don't get carried away with anything. You know, like I said, preparation has been very similar, albeit I think we've had to go a little bit deeper or give the players a little bit more information than perhaps the majority of the games. But I think, like I said, for the fans, and you talk about it, it's something that, again, in years to come, I hope that they'll be able to reflect on and be positive, no matter what the result and what happens. I think it's a time when they'll say, "Can you remember when we went there, the quarter-final of the Cup?" And that's what it's about, making memories, and I'm sure lots of people will take those from this weekend.
I think there's almost a sense of almost celebrations to the achievement, whatever the result is.
There has to be, and again, I'm trying to say to people that aren't at the forefront of the the footballing side that's hard to do still, because it is your job, and it's your profession. You've got your personal pride, where me as manager, the staff, the players. So that's hard to do that right at this moment in time. But as I said, we're trying to enjoy it as much as possible. Thank you.
Hi Paul.
Hi, okay.
Just one from me, thank you. What is it about knockout competitions and this particular team? Because you mentioned playoffs last season and the cup run this season.
We try and instill character, we try and recruit character, and maybe last year's experience, we've still got quite a few that went through that in the playoffs that might have just stood us in good stead, but we always asked for them to give absolutely everything, and no matter what's going on in the game, they stay with it, and I think they've shown that in the games at certain times. Southampton, we obviously had to withstand some pressure and a slowish start that we managed to get through. But in the other games, I think they've done really well and probably deserved the results. So no major sort of shocks in there in terms of or luck. We liked VAR last time in the competition, that's for sure. It'd be nice if we get one or two decisions go our way again at the weekend. But overall, just like I said, people, and hopefully as staff, we help sort of get that message across, never giving in. That goes right back to the Notts County game when we were a kick away probably from losing out in the playoffs. So yeah, I think just that team spirit and camaraderie that's there that can help us through some tough times, but also I've kept saying it that they're a decent team when they turn up, and in the cup games they've certainly done that.
And they'll take so much confidence from the previous round, of course.
They've got to take some confidence, as I've said, of not trying to scare them, but we went through some of the footage this morning. I warned them that it was an 18 watch because it's one of the scariest things that they'll watch, and we're trying to find that balance of just not having it so anything's a surprise come Sunday, but at the same time trying to be a little bit light-hearted about it, and I guess that is my job, like I said, to try and get that balance where they're quite relaxed, but they're also up for the game, which I'm sure they will be.
Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, so, hi Paul. The club obviously sold out of tickets less than 24 hours. Obviously there's a huge demand here, isn't there? Is there any pressure then sort of to please them? I spoke to Will from Doxby this morning. He's been a lifelong supporter, 50 years. It really means a lot to these people, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think already the journey itself and where we've reached is fantastic for the fans. I honestly don't feel any pressure from that point of view, only what we put on ourselves. I think, as was touched on earlier, that the fans will enjoy the day and be proud of the achievement no matter what happens on Sunday. You touched on how quickly the tickets sold out, and I think it was after the Newport game. I think people will have enjoyed queuing for the ticket more than they did the Newport game itself. It wasn't one of as great a days, albeit we didn't get beat still. But I'm sure we could have sold a hell of a lot more tickets, so it's unfortunate we couldn't get any more, but to get that back is fantastic, and like I touched on before, I think people will remember the day or weekend in many years to come.
I think that's you done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Downstairs and quickly get